The USC Gould School of Law has announced a newly appointed leader. We'll hear from the incoming dean.
The LA Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani has been welcomed by the city rather quickly and rather largely.
And I'm here at a special art exhibition. More on that to come later in the newscast.
Annenberg TV News is next.
USC Gould School of Law has a new dean who's making history. Hi, I'm Malcolm Caminero.
And I'm Clera Rodrigues. Nieto Tolson served as interim dean, but now this role is permanent. Tolson is a national leader in election law and has served as interim dean since last July. She first joined USC in 2017, working her way up to vice dean for faculty and academic affairs. She becomes the first black dean of USC's law school and only the second woman to ever fill the role.
It's crazy to me that we are still in a situation where we have first anything, that there are still these ceilings that we have to break through. But I also recognize the opportunity here. I want to lay a foundation where other people of color, other women will follow a similar path, right? I hope that I can remove a lot of the barriers that stand in the way of others who hope to go into administration and achieve these kinds of accomplishments.
Tolson studied at the University of Chicago's law school, where she took classes taught by then-Professor Barack Obama. USC law students expressed excitement over the news.
Dean Tolson definitely has created a community here where we feel comfortable to go to the dean and ask questions and create conversation. Really grateful for her, excited for her, and proud to say she's our dean.
A lot of students are going to come to institutions and look around and not see people who look like them. So I think it's good when there are people in those higher positions so they have not only something to aspire to, but someone to relate to.
In a statement to the campus community, USC President Carol Folt wrote Tolson is, quote, respected and beloved by Gould, and couldn't imagine a better person to lead the school.
USC has reinstated the Academic Achievement Award and exceptional funding, following weeks of criticism from students. USG's Chief of Staff elaborated on how students pushed the university to change course.
Sharing all the petition signatures that had been shared on the other petition, all of the journalists writing articles about this, all the testimony. It was really a team effort by all of the students who were affected by this. And I think they cited that in their reinstatement message, that community feedback is really what brought it back. So it was really a lot of people working together.
On March 7th, USC ended the scholarships. By March 15th, a compromise was reached to extend the program for the class of 2025. 4 days later, USG passed a resolution demanding the reinstatement of the scholarships, and on March 25th, the university reversed their decision and restored the programs, giving some students hope for the future.
So much stuff here goes unnoticed. I mean, so many movements across campus have just kind of been swept under the rug. Nothing has changed, especially financially. And so it's kind of cool that it sets a precedent that like something can actually be done about problems like this.
The university doesn't always respond to outrage from students. They were taking away a precedent that like had so much weight at USC in the first place that I don't think it was a smart move, and I think they probably knew that, so that's why they were more eager to reinstate it.
The Academic Achievement Award and exceptional funding will be available for all future students who meet the requirements.
California state lawmakers approved a bill this week that will require bars and nightclubs to offer drug testing kits. The new law says establishments serving alcohol must offer quick and easy to use date-right drug tests that show if your drink has been spiked. The law takes effect July 1st. The law leaves it up to establishments on whether they can charge customers for the drug test kits. There could be a major wild card in the race for president. Political reporter Sarah Schornstein joins us with the story. Sarah?
Thanks, Clara. Big news in the world of politics this week as independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has chosen his running mate in philanthropist and Silicon Valley attorney Nicole Shanahan. The 38-year-old political newcomer is one of RFK's largest donors and is the ex-wife of former Google CEO Sergey Brin. She is a liberal, giving most of her political donations to Democrats, but like RFK Jr., is skeptical of big tech and big pharma. Here's a little of what they had to say.
The next Vice President of the United States, my fellow lawyer, a brilliant scientist, technologist, Nicole Shanahan.
So these are two of my political convictions I hold today: to serve peace and to help those in poverty.
Now that RFK Jr. has chosen his running mate, they are eligible to be on the ballot for 20 states. But because both RFK Jr. and Shanahan live in California, even if they won the popular vote of the state, they would not receive the 54 electoral college votes according to the Constitution's 12th Amendment unless one of them changes their residency.
Thank you, Sarah. This week, we're starting a new segment called College Corners, where we highlight news from colleges across the country. And tonight, we begin with the safety concerns at UC campuses. At UC Berkeley, parents hired private security amid reports of rising crime near the campuses, and the group is called Safe Bears. They raised over $40,000 for private security to patrol UC Berkeley's perimeter for 17 days. Now that the program is over, the university is pushing back, saying that parents should donate to campus security instead. Tuition costs at several New England universities have now a sticker price that is over $90,000. We're talking Tufts, Yale's, Wellesley, and Boston University joining the growing list of colleges raising tuition and fees for the 2024-2025 academic year. Moving down south in Alabama, a college is shutting down after nearly 170 years in business. Birmingham Southern College Board of Trustees voted unanimously to close their doors at the end of May after years of financial troubles. Students have been left scrambling to figure out what their next steps could be.
Was it a surprise? No, but it still hurt to actually hear it, to see it all over the news, all over social media. We have a date when the school is closing. It's just was so disturbing to see. The campus was so gloomy and gray and no one was outside because we were all like, okay, so what are we going to do? We've only been here for a few months.
A number of colleges across the country are being squeezed financially in the coming weeks, and we'll look at other issues facing higher education.
We now go live to our reporter Alexandra Goldberg, who is at a special art exhibit on campus. Alex, tell us more.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm here at the La Casa Art Exhibition, an art showcase for USC's Latinx students to showcase their creativity, celebrate their artwork, and bring the community together. Photographs, film photos, and watercolor paintings have been rolling in all day, and they are now being hung around USC's La Casa. The meaning behind many of these works are about the artist's experience growing up in Latino households. I spoke with an event organizer about how art is a way to show cultural appreciation.
Well, art is definitely a form of expression for students to show their culture and just to show other people and teach them about stuff that they grew up in, traditions such as in the images shown behind right here, and just to show and teach others about their own culture.
The art exhibition will be open only today in USC Student Union from 5:30 to 7:30. Come check out some of these amazing pieces like the one behind me. Malcolm, Clera, back to you in the studio.
A very special statue made its debut today in Compton. It's a statue of the late LA County Supervisor Kenneth Hahn and civil rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The work of art commemorates the moment when Hahn was the only elected official that greeted MLK at the airport and welcomed him to Los Angeles. The statue is located at the Archdiocese of North America Unitarian Universalist Church. Han's daughter spoke to her father's character at the unveiling.
He would have been so honored with this statue. He would have been so honored that someone took that moment. That for him was just, it came naturally. My father represented an African American community. So my father always said, I will do what I think my people want me to do.
Kenneth Hahn served more than 40 years on the LA County Board of Supervisors and was known for supporting civil rights during the 1960s.
A massive mural depicting LA Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani was unveiled today in Little Tokyo by Boyle Heights local artist Robert Vargas. The 150-foot-tall mural titled LA Rising proudly stands on the side of the Mayako Hotel. Vargas began painting the mural in early March, and it features images highlighting Ohtani's best talents on offense and defense.
I think it looks great. I'm honestly surprised that it's just pure Ohtani. I don't know, I feel like Yamamoto should be up there, but...
The city did a really good job at honoring not only the Japanese culture of what's here in Little Tokyo, but they also honored what the city represents with Dodgers.
The LA Dodgers play the St. Louis Cardinals tomorrow in their season home opener.
USC's annual Springfest is right around the corner. We talked to the Concerts Committee about the upcoming event.
A historic LA theater has added some new flavors to the movie watching experience.
And an R&B and pop singer has joined the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You'll see why when we come back. USC Concerts has been working hard to solidify the headliners for this year's Springfest. While the lineup has yet to be released, we talked to Concerts Committee about the process of planning this event.
We've been planning this show since Conquest, which happened in November, so we've been at it for a few months, and we really have our 10 teams that kind of take on their own roles, and we just oversee it.
We want to make sure that we're representing a lot of different communities and kind of putting together a holistic lineup that people are going to be excited about because they know some of their songs.
The Springfest is next Saturday, April 6th at McCarthy Quad. USC students can get one free ticket and can buy 2 guest tickets for $30 each. And you can even bring your friends who are not from USC. But you must reserve your free ticket on the Engage SC website.
I'm ready to boogie because you can't help but dance to that music. American pop singer Martha Reeves singing one of her biggest hits, Dancing in the Street. Fans and music leaders gathered today to celebrate her contributions to the music industry with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Martha Reeves is best known for being the lead singer of the Motown girl group. One of her other hit songs is called Heat Wave and won a 1964 Grammy nomination. The pop singer has already been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
There's a brand new addition to Hollywood's famous Chinese theater. Annenberg Media's Kathy Run shows us how visitors can now enjoy a variety of dim sum.
A new food stand is now next to the front door of Hollywood Chinese Theater, offering authentic Chinese food. The project founder defines this as his wildest dream.
Because this theater has been around for 97 years, but never in its history had there been any Chinese food on premise.
Actually, you are able to take the food into the theater and enjoy it in there. Soon we'll also be able to serve you from the theater concession stands.
The theater was built in 1927 and it started to sell the concession stands since 1930s, although the founder himself is not willing to. But look at that, after 90 years later, one of the concession stands started to become another culture symbol other than the building itself.
Dim sum, a delicate traditional food, is what the founder chose for this project. The food stand services 3 kinds of takeaway Campbells for customers to choose from. Each Campbell sells for about $20.
Well, each year about 6 million people pass by the Chinese theater from literally all over the world. This is our 4th day of our opening, and so we're still trying to gauge, trying to figure out what people want, what people need, so that we could customize our menu to their taste.
Although visitors pay more attention to the famous handprint outside the theater, this team trusts their 2 decades of experience in the dim sum business and their passion.
My favorite would be the shumai, which is a shrimp and pork dumpling. It also has black truffle sauce on top, which is really good.
My favorite one, every one of the 15 food is my favorite.
The Hollywood dim sum food stand has signed a long-term lease with the theater. It still has time to win over customers. For Annenberg Media, I'm Kathy Ren.
I know where I'm headed for this weekend, but I got to figure out what the weather looks like. Audie, what's it looking like out there?
Thank you, Malcolm. The weather is absolutely beautiful today. It's been a great spring day, as you could just see in the village there. Let's look at the temperature right now. We're sitting at 64 degrees. It's very temperate. It's been clear skies mostly all day, but let's see what we have coming up for the week ahead as we roll into a holiday weekend. Today, Thursday, and Friday are going to be pretty much the same. Clear skies, maybe a little bit of clouds, high 60s for the most part. But then we're going to be having a late season storm coming in this weekend. That means Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be some rain. So make sure you put all of your Easter plans for indoors. Let's go to Keely with sports.
We're kicking off this week of sports news, recapping another record-breaking weekend for USC's track and field. March Madness is in full swing, and we're here to break it down for you and give you the details on USC Women's Hoops' upcoming Sweet 16 appearance. Our last show of Women's History Month, and we have 2 talented female athletes to spotlight for this week's Women of Troy Wednesday.
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Madison Hogue.
And I'm Keely Roy. USC fans had their first chance to see the Trojan track and field team compete at home at Allison Felix Field this past weekend for the Trojan Invitational. The Trojans won an impressive 19 events at the meet. One of the highlights of the day was Temi Amora's record-breaking 44-meter triple jump. With that jump, she now leads all NCAA women's triple jumpers by more than 2 feet. She was named Pac-12 Women's Field Athlete of the Week for her performance. Kicking off their outdoor season with a bang, the Trojans are showing no signs of slowing down as they look to shatter more records next weekend at the Florida Relays.
The month of March means madness in the best way possible. Women's basketball is taking over the country and has increased attendance by 26%, setting a tournament record. The Sweet 16 starts on Friday, and I'm taking you through my predictions. Let's start with Albany Region 1. I have South Carolina beating Indiana. Dawn Staley has led this team to 35-0, and they're going to continue on rolling. Next, Oregon State and Notre Dame. I have the Beavers taking the win on this one, but it's pretty much a toss-up. Now jumping down to Portland Region 4, my very own Texas Longhorns are playing Gonzaga. Both teams have been dominant, but I think Texas with freshman Madison Booker are going to win this round. Former Texas alum Kevin Durant has high praises for the freshman, saying her future is bright and she's going to have the number 35 retired on the women's side. Moving up to Albany Region 2, I think the Iowa Hawkeyes, led by Caitlin Clark, will beat Colorado to play LSU in the Elite Eight after the Tigers take down the Bruins. Last but not least, the Portland Region 3 will feature a victorious Trojan team over Baylor, with Juju Watkins taking the lead. Capping off the Sweet 16, we have a dominant UConn team versus Duke. Paige Beckers is on a roll. She put up 32 points against Syracuse, as well as 6 assists and 10 rebounds. She has not scored less than 27 points a game in this tournament so far, and I think she will continue this trend going forward. With that being said, I have an Elite Eight with South Carolina versus Oregon State, Texas versus NC State, Iowa versus LSU, and USC versus UConn. Now over to Keely to give us a more in-depth look at the USC squad.
Nothing more fitting for March than our Women of Troy Wednesday segment to highlight graduate guard Mackenzie Forbes. Forbes has been an integral piece of this USC women's basketball playoff team, and she stepped up big for the Trojans Monday night in their 73-55 victory over Kansas to advance to the Sweet 16. The graduate transfer netted a career-best 6 threes. She ended the night with 20 points, adding 2 blocks and a steal. The Trojans will need Forbes to stay hot for their first Sweet 16 appearance in 30 years on Saturday against Baylor. I mean, what a March! Women's hoops is taking over, it is fair to say. We have some great matchups on the line. You previewed us that. There's 5 Pac-12 teams competing in March Madness. How insane is that in the last year of the Pac-12?
Truly insane. I think it's definitely a way to go out with a bang. Who do you have taking the whole thing?
I have to go with USC. I mean, a #1 seed, but I think a team we've seen grow so much throughout the season. They look great. They're shooting great right now. I think if they can keep that rolling, I see them going all the way. But I think some tough competition, like you mentioned, that side of the bracket is stacked. LSU, Iowa, UConn, and USC all on the same side. Who do you have? I have a feeling.
It's definitely a stacked tournament. I have Texas and USC, both sides of my heart in the final.
Perfect.
I have Texas coming out on top, but I will not be disappointed either way.
Can't go wrong. And I mean, what is also, a can't go wrong moment is how well women's basketball has been doing with this tournament. You talked about ticket sales, attendance. It's been through the roof. I mean, what do you think this means going forward?
I think it's great for women's hoops and definitely just great for women's sports overall.
Super exciting.
This week was spectacular for the ladies of USC, so we are doubling down with another Women of Troy Wednesday, this time from the pool at the NCAA Championships. Caitlin Dobler won in a swim-off for a spot in the championship against Washington State's Emily Lundgren in the 200-yard breaststroke just 55 minutes after the initial race. She then competed in the A final, getting 6th place on the podium. In the 100-yard breaststroke, she broke the school record, received All-American honors, and placed 3rd on the podium. Her performance in these races helped the Trojans finish 8th at the NCAA Championships. That's it for ATVN Sports. I'm Madison Hogue.
And I'm Keely Roy. Now back over to Clera.
Anyone else been feeling sore recently? Our wellness segment may just have the quick fix for you.
You have probably visited a yoga, spin, or running studio, and now you can move your body in a different way, in a stretching studio. Stretch Lab Hollywood makes stretching a lifestyle and emphasizes the importance of improving flexibility. Flexologists guide you in a 25 or 50-minute assisted stretching session to reduce tension. They assess the body and personalize a routine with the goal of increasing longevity. Besides feeling good, one flexologist says regular stretching increases range of motion, encourages blood flow, decreases injury, and makes daily activities more accessible.
People carry a lot of tension in their traps and their neck. And that's one of the most pleasing stretches, is getting your neck stretched. Because people don't think about stretching their neck, but once they've had it done, they're like, I didn't realize I can look all the way over my shoulder. You get used to pain. It becomes a reality. And when you come to Stretch Lab after a while, even if it takes a couple weeks and you're like, wow, I used to get up in pain every morning and there was nothing the last few days. And you kind of forget that that's the way you lived at one time, with pain.
Hager limbered up my 3 hamstring muscles, biceps femoris, semimembranosus, and semitendinosus. He used the PNF stretching technique. This involves pushing, holding for a few counts, relaxing, and breathing to lengthen the muscles and release tension. Do you put stretching on the back burner? Hager said because students sit for long hours, they are often tight in their glutes, hamstrings, hip flexors, and quads. Adding in 5 minutes a day to stretch and foam roll can work wonders.
Thanks, Erika, and thank you for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Malcolm Caminero.
And I'm Clera Rodrigues. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.